Because you know what, you have a physical body, and as long as you have a physical body, then this is something that you should be concerned about. How to maintain it, how to use it to perform the best with it, right? So even if you buy a small piece of equipment, you're interested to make it perform. Let's say I bought this microphone and I really want to make it work, and I want to use it to the best possible way. And then when we get a car, for example, then you want to wash it and keep it really performing really well. You know, people take a lot more care of their cars than they take care of their body. When it comes to your body, you don't think of your body as a piece of equipment to live life. How many of you think of your body as a piece of equipment to live life? How many of you have this understanding about your body, right? If you think that your body is a piece of equipment for you to live life and you should take care of it, type TC, take care, in the chat box. Do you think you should take care of your body? Do you think this is something that you should prioritize? And how many of you can say that you have a fully functional and useful body, and that you know how to keep it that way even when you're 80 or 90? Do you know this? Right? Type TC if you think you should take care of your body. And if you think that that everybody has to learn how to remain youthful even into your old age, so that you can do your own work and then you can be independent. If you think this is at all possible, and you think that this is something you want to learn, then type LY, learn youthfulness, in the chat box. Okay? Let's see. Is there some kind of delay? Oh no, what's here? Oh, lots of TCs. Okay, great. I can see Trusha wrote TC, Shweta wrote TC, Ashok wrote TC, Manish, Smriti, Ravi, Kritika. Great. Okay. If you really think that this is something that every human being should know, you know what? If you learned youthfulness, you wouldn't have any medical bills, number one. Secondly, you wouldn't be dependent on somebody else, and you wouldn't become a burden on somebody else. Okay? A lot of people get married and have children. You know why? The reason will shock you. The reason why people get married and have children, so many of them, is that I want somebody to look after me when I'm old. This is the intention with which we bring children forth into the world. Isn't that terrible? Why can't we bring children forth with an intention that, hey, I want this guy to be good for humanity, be a great leader, be a great teacher, or I want this guy or girl, okay, it doesn't matter. So I want my child to do this. I want my child to be like an inspiration for millions, and excel in something that they came for, fulfill their destiny for which they were born. This is not what people are thinking. People are thinking, I need somebody to take care of me when I'm old. Let me pop out 2 kids, because if one fails, then the other will take care. And if I get a girl, oh no, I need to go and try and get a boy. Do you know, in the last week, I've got at least 7 traumatized women coming to me because their parents have ill-treated them because they were not boys. Indian parents, you can do better than this. Stop it, guys. Stop procreating as your life insurance. How many of you procreated as your life insurance? Don't do this. At least rectify it now. Learn youthfulness now, and you will redeem yourself. You'll be like, okay, घटिया काम तो किया, लेकिन I can be free now by learning how to be Atmanirbhar, okay? Since this is the buzzword nowadays. Sorry. How to be Atmanirbhar and not be a burden on my kids, okay? It's very important, guys, okay? So, if you're young, then why you need youthfulness, na? When you're young, you never think of youthfulness. And when you get old, then you're like, oh, it's gone, now what do I do, right? Okay, so we can do better than this, guys. All of us can do better than this, and there is technology, and today I'm going to share that technology with you. Are you excited and are you ready to learn this wonderful technology of how to how to be youthful and how to maintain your body, how to what is it, where do I start, right? The body is so complicated, right? But you learn something today, you'll get some clue on how to start today. Are you excited to learn this? Do you have high electricity in your body? If you have high electricity, type HE in the chat box, okay? Then even I'll get high electricity, I'll be happy to teach you. No, I already got high electricity because it's first it's June 21st and there's a solar eclipse going on now around the equator, I am informed, and it's of course generated a lot of energy, okay? But still, if you're in high energy, I'm in high energy to teach you. Come on. How many of you are in high energy? Trisha is in high energy, Shweta is in high energy, Kushagra is in high energy. And it's International Yoga Day. So now yoga is international. Let us all celebrate today by actually learning something about yoga. Okay? Kritika is in high energy, Ashok is in high energy, Manish is in high energy. Okay, fantastic. Alright, I love my audience, I love you guys. You come here in high energy and you make me teach you stuff. This is great. Thank you very much for being you. Now, let's get on to the presentation. I have not prepared a very detailed presentation, but I hope it gets detailed as we progress. Okay, here we go. I hope you can see this now. All right. So, the complete human being according to the Upanishads. What are the Upanishads? They are amazing books written on yoga now everybody will argue, it's Vedanta, it's Advaita, it's all one and that and this, but you don't know Sandhya Bhasha. Okay, Sandhya Bhasha means twilight language, and the Upanishads are written in Sandhya Bhasha, which means they might be writing about cows and wealth and whatever, okay, but they're talking about something else. They're completely talking about something else, an internal experience. The naming points in the body, okay? Somebody is talking about 3 worlds and the 4th world, the Vyakritis, which everybody keeps chanting before the Gayatri Mantra, Om Bhurabhuvasvaram, without understanding what it is. It's all explained in the Upanishad, what is what, okay? And the same Upanishads, which have all this coded knowledge, have clearly said also that we have 5 bodies, and these are called koshas. There are 5 coverings on the Atman, which is your consciousness and your formless, your true formless reality. Okay, in reality we are all formless. We can't be harmed, we can't be touched. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna waxes eloquent about what are the qualities of Atman. It can't be dried, it can't be touched, it can't be cut, it can't be anything. Why are you scared, bloody Arjuna, he says. And Arjuna is like, I'm still scared. So how is Arjuna saying I'm still scared? Because he has all these koshas. In all these koshas, these are the 5 bodies. So if you don't take care of these 5 koshas, they're going to mess you up. Okay? Annamaya is made up of 5 elements. You know this, right? What are the 5 elements? Not elephants, elements. Earth. Okay? Earth is everything that is solid in the body, like bones and stuff. Yeah? Bones and muscles. That's earth. But actually, muscles are like 70% water. So, the next one is water. Sorry about this. Water, okay, and then there is what else do we have? We got wind, huh? I'll talk more about the wind, but it's not just the burps and farts, okay? There's more wind inside your body than you can imagine. All right, and then there is fire, and then there is space. Okay, so what does Annamaya mean? Annamaya means food enjoying body. Okay, Maya means to enjoy, Anna means food. So the food enjoying body. Do you enjoy food? Okay, The part of your body which enjoys food, that is called Annamaya Kosha, because it grows from it. Then there is Pranamaya Kosha, prana enjoying body. Pranamaya Kosha has 5 parts also. Prana, your inhalation. Apana, your exhalation. And these two create a movement of energy inside the body. These are called the Vayus. Okay? There's one more Vayu which makes up the Pranamaya Kosha, and it's called Vyana. Okay? These 3 make up the Pranamaya Kosha, the Vayus in the Pranamaya Kosha. And then there is space also in the Pranamaya Kosha, which is called Akasha. And then there is Prithvi also. Earth. Prithvi. Prithvi, which is also earth. All these 5 things make up the Pranamaya Kosha. Okay? According to the Upanishads. But what do these things actually mean? Each one means something. Prana is the total life force, your energy. When I ask you, are you in high energy? I can ask you if you are in high prana. You can type HP in the chat box instead of HE. Okay, it's the electricity that flows through your body, enlivening every place. Communication is taken from one part of the body to another. Yeah, sometimes I get patients. Yeah, they're like, I have a pain in my toes, and I'm like, okay. And then I realize when I look at their pranic body and their electricity, I see they have a blockage of energy somewhere else, maybe near their neck. And when I open out that blockage over there with my hands, then they get relief in their toes, and they're not even aware of that. Okay, so your life force can get blocked. It's like a wind, it's blowing, and if anything happens, there are these channels through which it flows. They're called nadis. Okay, so both prana, apana and vyana, all 3 of these flow through what are called nadis. Okay, apana also flows through nadis. What's this? Okay, and vyana also has nadis. Alright, they all flow through nadis. And these nadis they're like nadis, they're like rivers. Okay, these rivers are flowing through body. Rivers of wind are flowing through your body, and if they get blocked anywhere, then that place starts deteriorating. Okay, if prana is not flowing to one place, you can get anything there. Anything can happen. Any kind of disease can start to grow if you don't have enough flow of vayu. Okay, and akasha and prithvi are 2 different things. They're the limiters. They provide the context and the fertility for the vayus to flow. All this, if you want to learn all this in great detail, I have a course called Pancha Kosha Rahasya. What? Pancha Kosha Rahasya, the secrets of the 5 koshas. Alright, and I do this course every Monday, and it goes on till Friday. Okay, so I'm starting the next one tomorrow. If you're interested, you can just go and register over here. Just for your information and further growth of your intellect and knowledge, bit.ly/5kosha. Don't write koshas, you'll go to someone else's site. KOSHA. Okay, if you go here, make a note of this. I hope you all have notepad and pen, right? If you don't have, then please get one now and start making notes. Alright, because I'm going to give you a lot of information you've never heard before, as always. Alright, so this is the site to go to if you want to learn more about this in detail. Okay, if you don't want to learn, don't learn. Now, Manomaya Kosha is made up of Yajas. These are also names of the Vedas. Rig, and it's also made of Sama. Then it's made of Adisha, and then it's made of Atharva. Okay, there you go. Vijnanamaya Kosha is, I'm just listing it now, I'll tell you what they are, don't worry. Vijnanamaya Kosha is made up of 5 things also. So you can see everything is made up of 5, 5, 5. 5, 5, 5, 5. So a total of 25 things for you to take care of, and then your body will not have any problem. All of these affect your body. Okay, so Vijnanamaya starts off with what does it start off with? Shraddha. Shraddha, which means faith, which nobody has, is the basis of intelligence. Manomaya means mind enjoying body. Vijnanamaya means intelligence enjoying body. Okay? So, without Shraddha or faith, there's said to be no intelligence. It's supposed to be the head of the Vijnanamaya Koja. Head of intelligence is faith. Did you know that? I didn't know that till I read the Upanishads. Okay? Then the feet of intelligence. Can you take a guess what it is? It's rhythm. It's to do things that you have built for. The most intelligent thing is to do what you're built for doing. You try doing things that you're not built for doing, you're going to cry. Okay, you're going to be in misery. Alright, you can add an M to your name. Whatever your name is, just add an M to it. If you do things that you're not meant to be doing, you'll be miserable. Okay, you can be miserable Kumar and miserable Kumari if you try doing things that you're not meant for. And how many of you actually do this? Then there's Satya. Satya is to say the truth about your inadequacies without getting afraid that people are going to punish you. Say the truth, ye mere se nahi hota hai. So when you say that, you realize I'm so inadequate, I'm not good enough, so I really need to work on it. And then you will get something called yoga. Yoga means being good at it, being good at stuff. Okay, so when you practice Satya only, you will get yoga, and that's all part of intelligence. Yoga means being good at stuff. And then there is Maha, which is written about in great detail in the Upanishads. And Maha is a sense of urgency and purpose. Okay, a sense of urgency about your purpose. That is called Maha. Okay, and then the Anandamaya Kosha is the happiness enjoying body, and the happiness enjoying body also has 5 parts. And the head of happiness is called Priya. Okay, and this means to love things. To unconditionally love things is called Priya. Then you have Moda, which means to think of doing good things for other people. Okay, and then you have Pramoda. Pramoda means to think of good things that happen that other people are going to do for you, that will make you happy. Okay, or have done for you or will do for you. Okay, and then there is the Torso, which is Ananda, which actually means end of all drama. At the end of the drama, when the people come on stage and bow, that's called Ananda. It's the end of all drama. Okay, so happiness is of course one thing, but here specifically it means end of drama. And then there is at the last there is this one. What is it? Brahman. Brahman is the creator. Okay, so experiencing the creator is the biggest happiness. It's the root of all happiness. Okay, the head of all happiness is loving unconditionally. Now, what do all these have to do? What does this have to do? Okay, for example, do you know a lot of women have painful periods? It's called dysmenorrhea. Everybody has it to some extent, okay, but it's not supposed to be like that. If your Anandamaya Kosha is good, then you will definitely have painless periods. That's it. If you have a proper Anandamaya Kosha, you will not have pain in your periods, you will have joy in your periods. Has anybody ever imagined that periods can be a source of joy? Both for men and women, it's a source of pain right now, right? Because women get PMS and then the men run, we are scared because of she'll suddenly be saying the truth about everything, and then your relationship is shaky. So it's a time of vulnerability and feeling miserable and so much negativity associated. That's why all the joy has gone out. If you could build your joy body about this, and when you love people unconditionally, you feel that nice things are happening to you, you feel like doing nice things to people, you have ended all drama in your life, and you kind of connected to the creator, you will not have pain in your periods. Okay, that's just one example, but all of your pain will come down. Back pain, this, whatever it is, different kinds of pain, emotional pain, all of it will come down if you got Anandamide. Anandamide is a cannabinoid produced in your brain when you are happy. Okay, so it's more potent. It's a more potent drug than you know, THC, tetrahydrocannabinoid something, which is of course the main active ingredient that everybody gets high on in ganja when they smoke ganja and feel like Lord Shiva. Okay, yeah, everybody thinks Lord Shiva smokes, so I'm also smoking, man. He doesn't smoke, sorry. Okay, so that's just a poster some stoner made. All right, but you can produce Anandamide if you're happy, and then you can be BTS, better than stoned. All right, so if you want to produce Anandamide and be better than stoned, type BTS in the chat box. Okay, if you're better than stoned, then you'll be really happy. All right, and you'll be able to create good joy. And I was just joking, guys, you don't have to write it. Okay, so so you have all of these bodies, no? 5 bodies, not so easy to remember, so I'll close them all like this. Now you can see you have these 5 bodies and each of them have an effect. The Manomaya Kosha is your subconscious mind. Did you know your subconscious mind can affect everything from your blood pressure to your temperature to your hormones to everything can be affected by your subconscious mind. And in your subconscious mind, if Yajas means planning, okay, having a proper timeline. Now, how many people have a proper timeline? When you ask them what you're going to do in the future, right from when they're a kid, what you want to do in the future? Astronaut. Okay, all inaccurate stuff. Nobody has an accurate idea about what they're going to be doing in the future. You know what you're going to be doing in the future? Surviving the floods that are going to come because of global warming. That's what you're going to be doing in the future, but nobody has it on their timeline. All right, and therefore they produce all sorts of, they're not ready, and that insecurity is there because you haven't produced anything in your future. You don't know what you're going to do when the floods come, do you? Many of you don't even know swimming. Good job. Okay, you better be prepared for what's going to happen. Accumulating tons of money is not going to save you. You need some practical survival skills. You need to be physically fit. You need to have the right kind of abilities and skills, which basically survival skills. Nobody wants to learn this, because the world will go on forever, it seems. Why? Because it's been promised. Okay, I am not going to say who promised it, but everyone's promised it. Right from religion all the way to politicians, everyone has promised great experiences coming ahead, but we believe it and we're waiting for it, but we're not prepared for it. Okay, so that's why when you don't have a proper timeline, and then you don't have a proper history also, even your history is all fractured. Things have happened in your life, but you haven't really understood why they happened, and in all of those incidents that have happened which are negative, you have blamed yourself and said something is wrong with you. A lot of people are in this boat, and so your body's subconscious mind doesn't perform well, and the lot of bad signals that go in your body, autoimmune diseases, all sorts of stuff will start. Okay, so mental health, Manomaya Kosha. If your Manomaya Kosha is not healthy, you cannot expect to have physical health. Alright. So there is also Vijnanamaya Kosha, and if you don't have Shraddha, if you don't have faith, then you'll be so anxious, right? All the mental problems come from Vijnanamaya Kosha, and all the prana problems come from Manomaya Kosha, because Annamaya Kosha's soul is Pranamaya, Pranamaya's soul is Manomaya, Manomaya's soul is Vijnanamaya, Vijnanamaya's soul is Anandamaya. So if you've got problems anywhere in these, then you can cause your physical performance to fall. Alright. Nobody assesses and checks physical performance according to the koshas. Nobody knows how to do it. They don't know what they're doing. They think they're only body. And the biggest scientists think that consciousness is a function of the brain. And consciousness is not even in these 5 bodies. It's somewhere else. So you got to really take care of these 25. Why? How this became 6? Okay, nadis. Alright. So these are the things that you've got to take care of if you want your body to be strong. If you want to learn about it, here it is, bit.ly/5kosha. Now that you've got your notebook, you can note it down. Alright. So I actually don't want to talk to you about this today. I want to talk to you about a tradition. There has been a tradition in India. Do you know that? Oops, what did I do here? Oh my God. Okay, there has been a tradition in India where we practice immortality. Okay. So a couple of people wrote BTS. Very good. Okay, well done, guys. So Trisha is saying all the former stoners are writing BTS. Okay, very good. Good job. Trisha is saying we have started having epidemics which can only be survived if you have physical and mental immunity, and looks like there's going to be a lot of these in the future. Yes, of course. Physical immunity and mental immunity. Well put, Trisha. This is exactly what we need. Okay? This is the need of the hour. This is your physical performance. I don't know what you were thinking of. When somebody wrote physical performance, I don't know what they were thinking of, but all of this comes in. Yeah? Many people think of sexual performance. That's also linked up with this. Okay? If you're messed up in your Anandamaya Kosha, you're going to have a bad sex life, my friend. Okay? It's going to be really bad. And your Vijnanamaya Kosha, if you don't feel good enough and you are facing the fact that you're not good enough, then you'll keep avoiding sex. Okay? And you just don't want to have it because you might be discovered that you're not good enough, and then you can't bear that pain of somebody else judging you as not good enough. So people avoid sex for that also. And then there is the Manomaya Kosha. If you got mental problems and you just don't have any planning, you don't have any history, you don't have any emotional balance. Emotional balance is located in the Manomaya Kosha. It's the third one called Sama. Okay, and then you don't have any kind of how do you put it, understanding of what your body has decided to do. You don't understand decisions and you never make decisions, then obviously it's going to affect many aspects of your life, not just your sex life. It's going to affect so many aspects of your life. Alright? Do you all agree? Do you see that physical performance is a lot more than just enhancing body functions? Do you see this? Do you see there is mind, intelligence, happiness, and prana, which is soul. All of these things are involved. There is soul involved in physical performance. Okay, there are 4 souls: Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha. These are called subtle bodies also. Vijnanamaya Kosha and Anandamaya Kosha. Can you see the effect of the 4 souls on the body? Type 4S in the chat box if you can appreciate and understand that the body is far more than just the body, and we have to take care of the souls also. Type 4S in the chat box if you can understand and appreciate this. Let me know that you're here and not open some other chat box and surfing. I mean some other video and surfing. Okay. Yes, so 4 souls. Yes, Trisha says 4 souls, Shweta says 4 souls, right? These are what we need to develop. Okay, so there's the good news for you guys. The good news, what nobody else thinks that the 4 souls are important. Hi, how this? You think it's only your physical body? Oh, Smriti thinks 4S. Okay, great. Kritika thinks 4S. Okay, good. Okay, I thought I was preaching to a very difficult audience. Okay, so now there exists a system. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about this system. There's a system that has existed. It's been practiced by the Giri Yogis, and it's a tradition of youthfulness. Would you like me to tell you about the tradition of youthfulness? Write TOF in the chat box. Write TOF if you want to learn about the tradition of TOY. Write toy. Write toy. TOY in the chat box if you want to learn about the tradition of youthfulness. Okay, thank you. Write TOY if you want to learn about the tradition of youthfulness. Okay, great. Trisha says toy. Anybody else wants toy? Okay. Shweta wants to learn about toys. Yuvraj wants to learn about toys. And okay, great. I'm sure more people want to learn about toys. It's just Facebook lag. I'm not seeing any responses. Kushagra says toy. Okay, good. Nandini says toy. Okay, great. Oops, sorry. All right. Great. Okay, so looks like a lot of people are interested in toys, so I am forced to reveal toy to you, the tradition of youthfulness. Okay, Ashok says toy, Kritika says toy. Okay, great. Okay, so here is the tradition of youthfulness, not usefulness, youthfulness, but youthfulness is usefulness. There's no difference. Okay, So I was talking about the tradition of youthfulness and immortality. Here we are. I'll just summarize it very quickly. A long time ago, very long ago, in another yuga, a yuga actually means a time when, you know, it's the seasons of the sun, right? When the earth goes around the sun, the earth has seasons like summer, winter, etc., etc. The sun goes around a central galaxy, and there are seasons which have profound influences upon life on earth. And there are, you know, more metaphysical and more intelligent human beings at that in different yugas. So in one such yuga, which is called the Treta Yuga, Ashoka Tripura Sundari, who was a goddess, fell in love with Nahusha and she married him. But she wanted him to be immortal, so she taught him immortality and longevity techniques. Okay, so that's where it comes from. The same Ashoka Tripura Sundari, or Bala, is the head of my school of yoga, which is called Triloka Khada. So she's the head of that. And the lineage continues with the Giri Yogis. We have learned the tradition. I learned it from my teachers, and each of the exercises in Yoga Vyayama is designed to activate these 5 koshas. Okay, not only the physical, also the pranamaya, manomaya, vijnanamaya, and anandamaya. It is the only form of exercise existing in the world that activates all these 5. So just by doing it, it's a complete health program. Not only that, it reverses age and makes you like youthful, and it if practiced properly, it can help you lead to immortality as well. So that's the promise of the system, and it consists of 3 parts. Kriya, which says that movement is the key to complete development. Okay, so different kinds of movement. Now I'm going to show you a movement, and I want you to do it with me so that you can get a small sample of what Yoga Vyayama does for you. Okay, so I'm just going to help you to increase prana inside your body. So just do this along with me. Okay, hope you can see me now. Now all you have to do is get your hands together like this. All right. The more you point upwards with various parts of your body, if you just start pointing your spine upwards, you will increase prana. This is the secret. Okay, so the more you point upwards, the more prana you get. So let's point upwards like this. Go up, breathe in, come down, breathe out. Okay, so go up, breathe in, come down, breathe out, and then lift your shoulders also. Point up and drop it while you hold your breath. Breathe in, breathe out, hold your breath, lift your shoulders up. Breathe in, breathe out, hold your breath, lift your shoulders, drop it. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, hold your breath, lift shoulders, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so there are 108 points, Varma points in your body. These are stations along the nadis, which are amplifying stations for the electricity that's flowing. Okay, and if you just do this, how are you feeling? Those of you who did this exercise with me, please type in the chat box how you're feeling. Let me know how you're feeling after you did this exercise. What exactly happened? What changed for you? Whatever you're feeling, it's called an increase in prana. Okay, that's what it is. So coming back here, let me know how you're feeling after doing this simple exercise. This is just one aspect of Yoga Vyayama. There's so much to it. Okay, there are 20 body systems linked to 20 subtle qualities of movement, right? And there are 5 in each. There are 20 body systems linked to 20 qualities of movement. When we do different qualities of movement, it affects the different systems here. The whole list which I had made for you over here, all of this, all of this, all of this, all of this, and all of this. Okay, the subtle bodies are pranamaya, manomaya, vijnanamaya, and anandamaya. and these movements affect 20 body systems, and there are 5 movements which affect 5 different parts of each subtle body, and you start building them up. You start nourishing yourself. Without any psychotherapy, you can fix your mind. How about that? Yoga Vyayama is designed to fix your mind without any psychotherapy at all, and without any medication. You can fix your body by just practicing Yoga Vyayama. So not only is it youthfulness inducing, it's also medical. Okay. The second step is called Plavana. The first step is called Kriya. When you do the Kriyas, you get something called Plavana all the time. Your nadis will be swollen with prana. So all of the rivers flowing, it's like a flood. It's like a flood of prana inside your body. Everything is flowing great inside your body. You just have so much energy that you can do anything. Alright? So that is the second stage of Yoga Vyayama. And the third stage is to, these are not stages, but they're like 3 divisions, okay? They all happen simultaneously. Kriya is one, Plavana is one, and Aushadha is the third one. Aushadha are the plants that we should eat for youthfulness. There are certain plants which increase our youthfulness, and those are called Aushadha or Aushadhi. Okay, Aushadhi is better. Aushadhi. Okay, it's a female noun. So these are plants that you eat for youthfulness, and if you start eating these plants for youthfulness, it's all part of the system of Yoga Vyayama. Okay, we call it Yoga V for short. Now let me show you some Yoga Vyayama moves. All right, getting here, let's go to YouTube. I'm going to show you some Yoga Vyayama moves. Let's see. Wait, my videos should be there. Here you go. Okay, I want you to watch this. Okay, these are, here's one. This is like a mobility test. Okay, this is testing your shoulder mobility. This is testing your spinal mobility, and it's stopped and buffering. Great. Okay, we're back. Alright. Spinal mobility. This one is testing your shoulder mobility in the front and the back. So whether your shoulders can move forward and back. This one is testing your knee and hip mobility. Right? And this one is testing your spinal mobility and also hip mobility. Okay. So testing these, this is testing your coordination. Alright. So this is a Yoga Vyayama test. Alright. I'm going to send you this. I'm going to send you this video. And I'm going to send you this video, and if you try this Yoga Vyayama video, so what do I want you to do? I'm going to send you this video in a form, okay? I will send you a form in this group, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see the form on the description of this video. So I'm going to send you this form, and I want you to write down how you found this video. How could you use this video? All right. Were you able to do these videos? And if you were able to do these videos, then you can learn Yoga V. This is only for those who want to learn Yoga V. Okay. So let's make it like this. If you want to learn Yoga V, and if you want to be a part of this tradition of youthfulness, we are starting classes, new batch Yoga V 2.0, lots of things improved. If you're going, we're going to teach this. So if you want to learn, then I want you to fill in the form. Fill in the form after practicing the video. Okay, and the form will ask you how you found it. If you found it easy, then you can do Yoga V. But if you don't have basic mobility, then you have to join the Yoga V for Patients course. Okay. This is also for patients. But if your mobility is really, really bad, then I'll have to do a special version of Yoga V for you, which will start from in the chair. Okay, so if I get enough people, I'll teach that also. I used to teach this to people who are in their 80s and 90s, and they started getting younger. They started standing up and walking. They couldn't even get out of the chair and stand, and they learned Yoga V, and they learned how to stand up from the chair, start walking. And so it's I have a different course for people who are wheelchair bound. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not paralyzed or anything, but still they are stuck to wheelchairs. For such people, there's a different video. But if you can fill in this form, then you can do the regular Yoga V. Okay, so I'm not talking about the accessibility Yoga V or the Yoga V for people who are wheelchair bound. That's different, and this one is different. Okay, so if you want to learn, fill in the form after practicing the video. I'm going to send you the form. Alright, that's it. That's all about Yoga V. So I've told you what goes wrong with the body, because we don't understand the body. It's just these 5 things, and we don't really understand it. If you want to understand it, you come to this site and then you learn more details about the body. Okay, that's for the nerdy people and those who want to replenish their bodies. But Yoga Vyayama is a tradition, a youthfulness tradition, which gives you a workout which you have to do twice a week. That's it. If you have any other questions about Yoga V, write it down and I'll let you know. Yoga V is to be done twice a week, or if you're really keen and you're crazy about fast development, then you can do it 5 times a week. Okay, so it depends upon you, and if you want to learn, then just fill in this form which I'm going to send you. I will send you on the group, and if you're watching on YouTube, just check in the description, you'll find the form there. Alright, so that's about it, about how to regain your youthfulness. I hope you found this useful, and now let's see. Okay, so Shweta is saying that her breathing smoothened out and energy got balanced and amplified. Great. Kunal is saying increased electricity around the chest, arms, neck and brain. Very nice. Trisha is saying shoulder pain after yesterday's martial art class reduced 80%. Wow, that's great. Yuvraj is saying feeling more alert and awake. That's the best I can describe it. Okay, great. All right. So I'm going to put it in the description of this video also. Okay, so don't scramble for the form. I'll send it to you. All right. Only those who are interested fill in the form, and I will tell you how you can learn more Yoga V. Okay. So now I'm going to answer a few questions, and for this I will show you the questions as well. There are 5 questions which I'm going to answer. Okay. The first one is from Abhirami Vivek, and she says, what's the best practice to keep our body, mind and soul in complete bliss? Yoga Vyayama. I just talked about it. Please do sign up. Okay. Second, Anonymous is saying, I want a mentor for improving physical fitness. How do I decide if the mentor is good or not? Most mentors have students, okay? So most mentors also have put up testimonials. Try to contact the people in the testimonials and ask them, hey, I saw you gave this great testimonial, do you still feel that way? You know, maybe they gave it 6 months back and something is wrong, and then now they realize and they quit. So find out from people who quit why they quit. Then you will know if the mentor is good or not. Okay, this applies for anything, not just physical fitness. Go to the website, see the testimonials, note the name of the person, try and find them on Facebook, say, hey, I want to ask you about your testimonial there. Do you still feel the same way? You gave a great testimonial, I am considering signing up with this mentor. Okay, and if you want to try Yoga Vyayama, go and do it. Okay, you'll have a mentor to teach you. It's a great system. Alright. The website for Yoga Vyayama will be up soon. Okay. Now Anonymous is asking, in a woman's body, how does menstruation play a role with physical prowess, and how can she train not to make her body age despite going through cycles of bleeding and birthing? Bleeding and birthing does not age you. What ages you is all of the problems in your koshas, lack of love, judgment, hatred. These kind of things age you because they sit in your Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha and Anandamaya kosha and drain the vitality of your body. Alright. And I told you also, I explained that menstruation becomes painless and without any problem. If you are clearing up the Anandamaya Kosha, if you're happy, you won't have problems. Alright? How can one smell naturally pleasant? Our bodies smell different at different points. What influences body odor and scent? Obviously, what you eat. Okay? If you want to smell like flowers, eat vegan. Then your sweat also will not be smelly. Alright? Just quit your dairy and your meat and you will start smelling great. Okay? Good. Next, Pallavi Sad is asking, please talk a little bit about muscle memory. Somehow for my body, most asanas become a muscle memory and I don't feel anything. Well, asanas particularly are just resting places in Yoga Vyayama, right? So when I did this, what was I doing? I was in Virabhadrasana and then I'm going here and then I'm coming back to Virabhadrasana. So the Virabhadrasana is the resting place between the movement. Okay, so spandana, the movement is called spandana and the resting place is called asana. So if you only practice asana without any spandana, then your life will be boring. Okay, you will just hold a pose and then you'll sit there. Hai meri kismat. This is your yoga asana. It's called Hai Meri Kismat Asana, HMK Asana. This is International Yoga Day Asana. Okay, so when you just hold a pose and you're not really involving in movement, it does not develop any of the 5 bodies. So I think you're saying that you're finding yoga boring. Why don't you do Yoga Vyayama? Nobody is stopping you. I don't discriminate. I accept everybody as students. Okay? So you can do Yoga Vyayama. What is this muscle memory? Most asanas become a muscle memory. I don't feel anything. No, your problem is you don't feel anything. Why you want me to talk about muscle memory? Muscle memory is something else. Muscle memory is your subconscious. It's stored in the Manomaya Kosha. All your muscle memory is stored in the Manomaya Kosha. And it tells the muscles how to remember to do stuff like use the mouse, use the computer, sit on a chair. All of this is remembered by the muscles. Okay, so I don't think that's accurate that asanas become a muscle memory. Asanas become so boring. Okay, anyway, so yeah, that's that. Next question. I hope you can see these questions. Okay. Last question. Oh no. Last question. Nobody has question. Kunal has 4 questions. Thank you, Kunal. What are the key factors in retaining great motor functions in old age? Motor functions in old age. Motor functions depend upon your pranic body. Okay. So if you got a good flowing prana, then you'll have motor functions. Okay. What is the role of physical labor in maintaining a good physical performance? Not much role. If you do physical labor the wrong way, then you can get nice pain and you can have negative physical performance. Okay, so moving scientifically in the right way, like enhancing the 5 bodies, that is called proper physical performance. How did yoga become mostly about stretching and contortion? I was not there for this soap opera as it was unfolding, but there has been a big soap opera about yoga. Now, why should I go into it? I don't know, but there are lots of books about the history of how yoga was created in the last 100 years just to boost everyone's self-esteem. Okay, before that people were scared of yogis. They wouldn't, if somebody said I want to be a yogi, then they would take him to a psychiatrist. Okay, and suddenly yoga became about holding these easy postures and step by step. So somebody came along, Pattabhijas came along and then smartly made everything into step by step, and he created levels. So just like, everyone got inspired by Jigoro Kano, who broke down martial arts into levels and spoiled it. So in the same way, yoga was broken down into various levels of achievements, and your stretching and contortion became something that everybody could do in order to show their level of yoga. Yeah? What about your good mood? What about your kindness? What about you respecting consent? What about you being a good human being, being happy, being kind? You know, these things are yoga, but stretching is something you can see and measure, right? I stretched more today. 2009 I could only do this, and 2019 I put my head through my leg and I am licking my own ass. Okay, so this is progress can be shown with stretching and contortion. But you say now I was not kind at all in 2009, and now in 2019 and 20 I am so kind. अरे दिखता नहीं है ना, जो दिखता है बिकता है, no? So if you can't sell yoga if you are going to talk about real yoga. But somehow with great marketing training I am selling it also. Okay, so it's possible. My job here is to show people it's possible to sell real yoga instead of just doing selling contortion and stretching. Okay, thanks for the question. What's the role of good genes in improving physical capabilities? Your genes are just your address, man. What's the role of your house in improving your? Well, it depends. Yeah, if you got a really bad moldy house, then yeah, some people may find some things challenging, but that doesn't mean. See, your genes is what you're built to do. Your genes have the information of what you're built to do in this world. Okay, so that is all the physical capability you need. If you're built in this world to do a particular task, like maybe you're built to teach people about, maybe you're built to create software, okay? Why do you need physical capabilities other than being strong while you sit at the desk and make your software? You need a strong back, you need strong neck, you need strong wrists and strong shoulders, and of course you need strong knees and whatever. But you don't need to become a warrior type body. You don't need a warrior's body where you can break coconuts on your knee, right? That's not required for a software engineer. So depending, your genes will tell you what you are designed to do, and you need to develop only according to that. And even your genes will only develop, some people can't develop muscle. If somebody is built to be a lawyer and he's trying to be a bodybuilder, it's not going to work, because that's what he's built for. Then he won't be able to develop muscles or whatever. For example, someone's built to be a doctor maybe, so he has to stand for long hours or whatever, I don't know. So those muscles are what he needs to build, and his genes will be capable of building that. Okay, so if you're trying to do something that you're not, then your physical capabilities, you will feel like your physical capabilities are failing, right? So you are built to be a politician, but you want to be an arm wrestler. Like, why would you want to do that? You don't need the physical capabilities of an arm wrestler if you want to be a politician. I hope this is getting clear for you. Our genes are just like, where are we going in life? And they can change too depending on what you eat, right? So there's a basic kind of karma which you come to this earth with, destiny, that's called genes. And then what you do, like epigenetics, is the additional karma that you add on by eating all sorts of crap and activating cancer genes. Nobody comes on this earth to get cancer, you know this? We get it. We eat in particular ways and we think in particular ways, and then we get all these diseases, autoimmune and that and this. Okay, so yeah, those are genes and physical capabilities. All right, great. So coming back to our physical prowess, I hope you got some value out of this session, and you understood that physicality is more than what you are seeing as a physical body. Okay, so Trisha has a question. Do you think that asanas don't change anything, and that is why people still keep aging? No, see, asanas have some effect. Okay, they exist as part of yoga vyayama. We have asanas too, but asana without spandana is like half the story, so they get half the effects. So there are certain good effects which can come from asanas. For example, if you're doing halasana or you're doing shirsasana, these are all useful to some extent to do particular things, but not everybody should be doing it. Okay, people who have a problem with their brain should not be doing shirsasana. That doesn't work. Then like that. Okay, So Dharmik is asking, how do you come to know or realize that what you are built for? By practicing yoga vyayama. As you practice, things will clear up and open up. Your body starts to become more alert. You did this thing, right? You did this thing now with me. I hope you did this. Hope you were there for that exercise. Yes. So the more you practice yoga vyayama, the closer you get to understanding who you are. Yeah, it's a way to understand who you are in all the bodies. You need to develop yourself. When all your 5 bodies are well developed, it's apparent to you. Okay, when the Manomaya Kosha is disturbed, you can't really see to the bottom, because in the Manomaya Kosha is your timeline. What you're actually meant to do is already there. You know it. You can just know it as an inner knowing. All right. I know I'm meant to teach yoga. It's an inner knowing. I just know this. Okay. So I also know I'm meant to teach martial arts. I just know this. All right. But how do I know it? When I calm my mind down, my timeline becomes visible. Oh, what I'm going to do in life, what I'm actually built for, because it becomes visible. It's at the bottom that you can see it, right? With the water stirring on top, you can't see what's on the bottom very clearly. It's always messed up. So if you calm down your mind by practicing yoga vyayama, you'll be able to see these things. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to stop now. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been putting up with the power cuts and stuff. Okay, I'll upload this to YouTube and share the link so you can watch it all at one place instead of watching it scattered here and there. But it's going to happen by evening today. This is a very busy day, so it's going to take some time. So maybe by tomorrow or something it will be on YouTube. So if you have any further questions to ask me, just go ahead and ask me in the chat box. And if you have no questions and you had a good time, please type NQGT in the chat box. If you had no questions and you had a good time learning, then type NQGT in the chat box and then we're done. All right, let me know. I'm waiting. No questions, good time, says Yuvraj. Okay. No questions, good time, says Trusha. No questions, good time, says Akhil. Thank you, great good question session and QGT. Okay, great. I'm glad all of you had a good time. Thank you very much for joining me. And I will see you again next week with another episode, with another topic chosen by you. All right, I'm going to put out a poll this week so that you can choose what I should speak about next week. Thank you very much for joining me.